Shangi, my awesome sister. Hope you are doing well. We're just getting ready to do a UFO story. Great video last night, sister. Made me hungry in the morning. Okay, we just came to a medical appointment for my wife. Okay, we're gonna go for a little ride. Bite me! Quinn, good day, my brother. Okay, I'll leave you some better skies now. Okay guys, let's do a quick story before my wife calls. Oh, this is a good one, guys. Okay, so guys, this story today. Okay, my people, let's start. Oh, I thought I was doing a horizontal. Never mind. Either way, my friends, let's do it like this now. Okay, so the story we're gonna do today, guys and girls, is about a UFO that attacked a military helicopter. So this happened on the night of the 18th of October 1973. Captain Lawrence Coyne, pilot of helicopters for the military, he had a surprising encounter with the UFO near Mansfield, Ohio, USA. The object had about 18 meters length, and it was gray, and it had the shape of a long cigar. Captain Coyne, he had 10 years of flight as a pilot of the Armada, and then as a civil pilot. He commands now the 316th medical transports of people in need, in health problems, in need of a helicopter ride. He does that, and he does it on the base at the airport of Hopkins in Cleveland. When this incident happened, he was piloting a Bell Huey. He was 50 miles south of his base. That night he had a crew, 3 men. They were flying at 800 meters of altitude when Sergeant Janasek, chief of the crew, saw on his right on the horizon a red light, and he said, "That's approximating at very fast velocity," he exclaimed. Captain Coyne made a movement of descent to avoid the object that was flying at more than 900 kilometers an hour, and it appeared in the horizon, and in 10 seconds it got close to the helicopter. The pilot said that with the travel path that each of the crafts were following, the crash would be inevitable. Captain Coyne says that he kept the helicopter in the position of descent until 6,600 meters, more or less 2,000 feet above the ground. And when he saw the object at 500 meters, he knew, he felt that he was gonna have to brace for contact. But there was no impact, and when he opened his eyes, in a split second, the crew saw the object that looked like it was hovering over the helicopter. They noticed a big turtle. The turtle. How do you call it? They noticed that it looked like a tortoise. You know, the outer layer of the tortoise, the fuck man, I can't remember the word. Either way, but it was gray and with a metallic appearance, with about 18 meters of length. It looked like a thick cigar in the form of a fin, having a red light at the front. The tip of the front of the object would become red, said the captain, and it had a slight elevation in the middle. Behind there was a green light that reflected on the metallic walls. This light would turn like a beam of a projector. It was very shiny, and it invaded the cabin. And we would find it hard to see our board panel, because of the strong. Please, sorry, brother. What was I talking about? Crazy, guys. My cell phone overheated. No, she hasn't called yet. Okay, so Quinn, just if you remember, where did I lost connection? Okay, so we are at the city. Do you remember, Quinn, where you lost me? If you don't remember the part of the story, tell me how many minutes and I'll try and go back a little bit. Okay, shining and flying. Okay, tell me something else, Quinn. Something more that you remember. Okay, do you remember me talking about the green and the red light? Okay, I remember the word that I forgot. They were saying that it reminded them tortoise shell. But the color was grayish. And they say that at the time that they felt that the UFO was gonna hit them, they were at 450 meters height, but right after supposedly the UFO hovered on top of them when it stopped. After that blink of an eye, those few seconds, they were now at 1,150 meters height. So apparently the UFO made them go up in altitude. Maybe they used their beams to beam them up a little bit, just to show them, how advanced they are. That's my only explanation for that. They also say that this green light was turning, and when it moved very quickly towards them, they noticed this green light turning, and when this green light was pointing their air helicopter, they noticed everything inside the helicopter went green, and they couldn't even see the panels inside the helicopter. And as well, their radio emission receptor, it stopped working suddenly, and when the UFO left, it came back to work, guys. um they also say that this helicopter is not capable of going up these heights, like these 500 meters, in a few seconds so quickly. It doesn't have that flight capability. Um, and the only reason why he told the story was because he had other two witnesses with him on the helicopter, or else he wouldn't even have reported it to his military superiors. Okay, guys, I have another story. This story here is slightly longer. It's 2 pages, okay? It does have an image. I'll show you, okay? This one is chapter 44 from this book here, guys. UFO Mystery by Jack Perrin. And this story is called "A Famous Astronomer Observed a UFO." Okay, for those who don't believe in the phenomenon, they point to the fact that 90% of these observations are made by people with a modest condition, by farmers, people who live in the mountains, people who are not very instructed, They don't study. They haven't studied in university, for example. When we talk about extraterrestrial crafts, it's natural that the occupants make their landings, their kidnappings, or analyses in regions with low density in population. Remember, guys, they are saying this, but you know that case of my very close friend from the city, that he lives in a very densely populated area in the city, and in 2013 he saw two metal crafts with no lights, no portholes, saucer about 3 meters, maybe 4 meters length each, and they passed hovering over his balcony, and he was with his wife just smoking a cigarette, looking at the skies before going and watch a movie. Okay? Let's continue. It's more natural to find a farm person or someone who does more labor work with farming and animals in lower density areas. Um, and they compare it to the rarity of having an astronomer. The proportion of these last ones in relation to the farm people or working labor people is in the order of 1 to the millions. And the fact that they observe the sky doesn't put them in a privileged position, even though we would think so, because even the telescope is used and its thickness will only capture a UFO for a fraction of a second if it's at an altitude. Okay? If it's at a very high altitude, because with a telescope you can only observe very distant objects, so that UFO has to be near that planet or moon that you're observing. Okay? In the case of the moon, you only have one moon, okay? Um, Even though there are astronomers that observed UFOs and have the courage to say it, which is even rarer. Between them, one of them is the Reverend Benito Reina, father of the Company of Jesus, astronomer, biologist, doctored in sciences and writings, professor of physics, mathematics at the University del Salvador of Buenos Aires, and he manages the Scientifical Center studies and observatories in 3 different places: Santa Fe and 2 observatories of San Miguel. These 2 last ones in San Miguel have in one side the observatory, a simple astronomic name known as Adara, and on the other side the Observatory of Cosmic Physics, which is one of the most complete in the world because it covers the surface of 6 football stadiums, and it possesses 3 domes of observation, a huge number of cabins and laboratories, which Father Reina describes on the letter that he sent me on the 18th of August 1966, and which I make complete translation. Further ahead, due to details he points out. Guys, this is freaking awesome, this story. I'm really enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying it, my friends. I'm having to hold my phone because if it's in the sun, it's gonna reheat again. The observatory of Adara was the first one in the world that discovered the big solar explosions. It it took size of them, of their protuberances, and Mr. Louis Farrow invented methods to size these explosions. Uh, by their calculations, it was confirmed by the big observatories, and it also received felicitations by Mont Palomar for their discoveries. The various telescopes that it's equipped were constructed by his own hands to study the secrets of space and give to know all of their visitors, which come to instruct every night. On their letters, Padre Reina told some observations of UFOs, and also, um, as other of his colleagues and personalities in Argentina. After such declarations came from part of a famous astronomer, what we can smile when we read in the press the words of a director of a Switzerland observatory that says that the UFOs don't exist because 20 years ago he observes the skies and never seen one. Um, a reader answered about this matter with much grace that serious doubts we have about this astronomer because he lived in the same city 20 years ago, and he lived on the same city as this astronomer, and he never heard of him. These guys are called opportunists, guys. And when you meet some of these opportunists, guys, you're gonna wish you never met them before. Let's see then the translation of one of his letters in which he describes the observation of a UFO that passes over the moon on the 1st of December in 1965. Observation confirmed with one photography and another one who was playing with the Echo 2. Okay, so let me show you. So this is the photo, guys. And what it says is, okay, so this seems to be like some scanning of the movement of this UFO. Can you see? The UFO appears there, and then it appears there. Okay, and then it appears there again. So it seems to be moving. On the Observatory of Adara in San Miguel, Buenos Aires, Argentina. This is the letter, okay? Dear friend, it's better late than never. In first place, thank you very much for sending your photos, the photos of the UFO. They are very interesting. Afterwards, I have to say I'm sorry for writing in Spanish and not in French or in English, languages that you do know. Don't be surprised that I only answer to you now. But I've been having lots of religious occupations in several parts of the interior of my country. About your request to the photo of the moon with the UFO, there I will send you one. That night, the one of December of '66, we were taking photos of the moon when we started receiving phone calls asking us if we weren't noticing anything different about this asteroid. Yeah. People were telling that they would see dark spots in front of the moon, of the luminous moon. After we revealed on Friday the photo taken in 4 minutes, taken every 4 minutes in space At 1/15th of a second, we noticed a flotilla of UFOs that was crossing. You can see by the three um, you can see by the three in the atmosphere. The one in the middle seems to have a dome over it. Meanwhile, the bigger one is deformed by the atmosphere. There is also one in front of the Sea of Rain and outside near the asteroid. Um, and then you can see one if you put the photo in front of the light. Ruben Cap, my brother, good to have you. Big hugs. Let's go. Okay, where are we? In the city of San Miguel, 40 kilometers west of the capital, there are two observatories. One of cosmic physics, managed by the Jesuit, which is one of the most complete in the world, with physics rooms, chemistry, biology, entomology, electronics, physics, solar, seismology, meteorology, astronomy, studies of the telluric currents, the storms, radio telescope, and a heliograph. And the other one is the Adhara, built by Mr. Luis Ferro. It has 4 years of use and is destined for astronomy. He discovered comets, supernovas, UFOs, received felicitations by phone, mostly by Mount Palomar. In the observatory of Adara, which it's called like that because of the most important star that passes in its zenith, we see on the day of 14th of November the fantasies of a UFO playing with Echo 2, which details we could read on the bulletin number 6 GEPA. It was a beautiful spectacle observed by various people that night visit the observatory. By that time, that during several nights we saw the UFO from the diverse shapes as the big cigars, or the circular, or even the various colors, green, yellow, and blue. Some are very quick, completely white, but none of them in the case observed a trace of light. Guys, if you haven't seen all these colors of UFOs, you can check my brother's Ruben Cap channel. He's got more than many colored UFOs. You can check out, my people. BJ's my brother. Good to have you, BJ's. Good morning. A quick aside, guys. Sending a big hugs to my sister Susie B, and big hugs, happy birthday, my awesome sister. Big blessing. Have a wonderful holiday, my sister. And please go for the hikes. We love them and we need them too. Big hugs, sister. Stay blessed. Derek, Secrets of the Past Parahistory. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so in Argentina, we are interested very much by those objects in such ways that they're private commissions of armada and aviation. Here we see sometimes some UFOs. Some are very interesting and confirmed by photos, some by people very trustworthy of faith. Some other way, some others times, these objects came down to the ground. Once again, I'm sorry for writing in Spanish, but if I knew well your language, I would have used it and I would have written many other interesting things. Therefore, I felicitate you for your research, which are very heartwarming. Reina, BJ, Reina BJ. Okay, if you don't believe me, look. Reina BJ, director of Adara. BJ, this is called damn guy, the word. A synchronicity, okay, BJs? Have a good morning, my awesome brother. Okay, so let's continue. Now let's talk about the detail with Echo 2. Just as publicized by the GPA. On both observatories, I have seen several times with my naked eye or with prismatic binoculars the evolutions of the UFO, being that some are very beautiful. Almost always they were following satellites or rockets, which the humans put them in orbit, always at a certain distance as to not disturb with their magnetic field. When the satellites go in through the cone shade of the Earth, they disappear. In counterpart, the UFOs remain luminous and often change their course 4 times at amazing, incredible velocities. One night, without a doubt, for the first time in the world, we follow them by the telescope. I will make on the back of this letter a drawing with their evolutions. All of this was verified and controlled by technicians. By technicians. I know that in France and the big potencies of the world, they give big importance to the UFOs, and a big net of observers tries to resolve this enigma. I think it won't take very long. Okay, guys, so this network that they're talking, it's us, guys. It's the Skywatchers of the world. So please join us, my people. Keep looking at the skies. Keep looking at what matters, and we will find the freaking truth, okay? Anthony, my brother! Big hugs, my brother. Okay, this is a school, okay? This is a school I'm parked in front in the city, so quite a big school, guys. Good to see you, my brother. Big thanks for joining. Okay, so where were we? I lost myself. Okay, there it is. At the observatory of Adara in Buenos Aires, on a very clean night, on a very, very clean night, on a very clean night, Um, at the 14th of November of 1964, we follow the telescope. We follow the telescope to a satellite, okay? With Echo 2, which goes through the North Pole to South Pole. It appeared at 8 o'clock hours and 37 minutes at night over the same meridian of the observatory. At 8:45 west near Pegasus, a UFO following a route describing a half circumference, maybe to not attract the satellite with its magnetic field. Then it followed its path in direction to east, and near Orion it came down to the horizon. It did all this trajectory in 3 minutes. At 8 o'clock 52 hours, 52 minutes at night, when Echo 2 was at the zenith, the UFO appeared at southwest near Centaurus and went on the direction of Echo 2. When it approximated this Echo 2, it came back where it came from, and after it went northeast, where it came down till the horizon near Andromeda. It appeared a third time at 21 hours near the Altair, and it had the form of a cigar, but it became straight away it became circular. Oh, crazy, guys, it changed its shape. Maybe the lights increased and it gave the shape of a circumference, guys, right? When it went close to the plane of Echo 2, it did the same thing. It stopped, came back where it came from, and then it went south, and it fixated in the direction of Canopus, and finally it disappeared in the horizon at the same time as the satellite Echo 2. Okay, guys, so these weird names, Canopus, Andromeda, Centaurus, Zenith, that's all stars and groups of stars, okay, guys? So you can do that if you check the astronomy maps, okay, guys? There were several people inside and outside the dome of observation. We were able to follow it and observe inside and outside, and in their diverse trajectories. They opened the dome very quickly so that everybody could see it. Near the horizon, we saw it perfectly. We observed very clearly its superior tower. The tower was faded green, as if the green of the lights of the lamps, with an arch of Mercury. The circle of the middle was yellow, and the borders were blue. Sometimes it was occupying all of the field of the telescope, and it looked like it was bigger than the full moon. As the velocity of Echo 2 was 25,000 kilometers per hour, the UFO should be going at more than 100,000 kilometers per hour. as we can see by the trajectories that it made at the same altitude as the satellite. We were wondered and amazed with such a vision of such clarity and such beauty. This spectacle offered by the UFO that followed the Echo 2 was amazing and fantastic. Awesome, guys. I cannot believe my wife is still there. Okay, this is the end of this story, guys. BJs, I cannot turn the camera 90 degrees because it blocks it. And I did ask for the view to be horizontal, but they just turned the inside of the camera horizontal and the camera still, the orientation is still vertical. So I don't know, guys. I cannot really do anything now. Sorry, brother. Okay, let me see the next, or the next one is too big, guys. Yeah, I'm already a little bit tired. So let's do a little break here. Let me see if I can put the phone like this a little bit. Put some music, guys. So I hope everybody's having the start of a great week. If you forgot to give Susie B's birthday, please go there. She had her birthday bash yesterday.
Hello.
Sue, my sister, good to have you. Have a blessed week, my sister. Big hugs to the family. Next time, BJs, I'll do horizontal next time with my brace, and we're gonna go for a ride. Very likely tomorrow, BJs. We're gonna go for a ride tomorrow. Today I came with my wife. Tomorrow we'll have some... Actually, maybe when I arrive home today I'll have some time. We'll see, brother. This one is good. Actually, this one here is a copyright for sure, so let me pass. Tiga is very good as well. This music is beautiful, guys. Guys, I'm right next to the police, look. The police is right here, guys, look. Look, look. Police. Don't stop me, guys. Oh my god, I'm glad I've noticed. I did see the police car over there. Look at this, guys. Listen to this. Okay, so now I'll give you a little bit of the creepy sniffler dog appearance. The predator. I'll give you the predator view, okay? Look at the predator view. He doesn't leave anything by chance. It's only that it's running late, and I think I can do another story. I can. That was the creepy view of the predator dog sniffler. There it is, look, always on the prowl from the next victim. Look, 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 look. He doesn't leave anything by chance. Look, he smells anything that walks in the street. You move, you will be smelled. The creepy voyeur. Creepy voyeur, always creeping around. Okay, guys, I think we can do another story. Actually, guys, aliens, they watch from above, so you kind of need to be like over an apartment, a balcony, and with some binoculars, and that's how they will watch you, I think, you know. I think for them, we are all very small, you know. Okay, let's find something else. Guys, it doesn't... If you want to tell you the truth, I kind of feel that we lost the city already. The city is no longer ours. I wouldn't want to live in the city, guys. I have to admit this, guys. The city is already completely the city is overpopulated already, you know. Too many peoples, too many smelly dogs, too many smelly wellies. I don't know, it's just... I wouldn't want my kids to study in the city, guys. Maybe when they're older, yes. But until they are like adolescents, no, I don't want them to get away from us. I live in the suburbs which there are a lot of woods. There's a lot of woods in the suburbs. But it's just it's a good mix in the city. I don't do not get me wrong. But there is so much crap, so much decadence, so much scumminess, scamminess. It's just, it's not a good place for children. It's not a good place for children. That's what I think, guys. And, I think we have to keep our areas clean. First of all, if you want the children to grow good, you have to have a clean environment. Okay? Dirtiness. We have to get rid of it. Just simple. Just throw some detergent and clean the areas. Guys, I think we can do another story. Quinn, I'm talking about whole Portugal. I'm not talking about my city, okay? You will get everything everywhere. And just make sure you clean. You clean all the doggy shit. Dee, my awesome sister, good to have you. Okay, so this new story is called Traces and Residue, Chemical Residue Left by the UFOs. In numerous occasions, the UFO leave marks on their landing. This is chapter 45. On most cases, the surfaces are concentric of kind of stomped grass. The land becomes calcinated, or even branches of tree are broken. For example, in Valensole on the 1st of July 1965, Mr. Maurice Mass, he was a cultivator of lavender. Okay, so guys, this case, the cultivator of lavender, I am sure that was one of the cases of Preston Dennett, because he's done a whole entire series of lavender and other spices, agricultural people who saw UFOs. This man saw land, a craft with the dimension of a dolphin, and he was paralyzed momentarily by the occupants. On the ground, there were marks in the form of holes, geometric. It was made an analysis of the terrain in laboratory, and it was negative, not showing any anomaly on the constitution nor radioactivity. Even though on this precise place the lavender hasn't grown, even though the land has been um, the land has been moved several times, and they did several transplantations, new transplantations there. The okay, so they're talking about a lot of photos, but I'm not seeing any photos. What? Oh, we got a Damsky next. Varney Hill afterwards. Okay. They say they have some photos. Um, this photo was taken 2 years later after the incident, and it shows that the landing place there can only grow some dirty weeds. Crappy weeds, you know. Those weeds that nobody wants to smoke them. um, on other photos, you can see the nests characteristic discovered after a possible or observed landing of a UFO. Leftovers of UFOs are rare or inexistent. Some authors talk about UFOs being found with the occupants dead inside, concretely on Heligoland and the New Mexico case. These rumors were um, these rumors weren't believed by their respectable governments, so they thought they were lies, or they covered it up. Sometimes, after the passage of a flying saucer, there were found chemical residues and pieces of metal, but nothing proves that they belong to these crafts. They could be combustion residues, and many times after analysis, these metals revealed to be of a pureness extraordinary. Even if it was copper, nickel, magnesium, or other metal, we can deduce that they did come from other planets, and they served as propulsion or for any other functions for these crafts. Let's see, in some cases, the discoveries of these residues. Baka, my brother! Good to have you, my brother. Have a wonderful afternoon, my brother. And see you later at our brother Waffles. Let's go! Okay, so let's start with the cases, okay? First case, Bahia Blanca, Argentina, 12th of May, 1962. After a landing, there were found residues of carbonations. Carbonated calcium and traces of carbonate potassium. Second case, Villa Constitution, province of Santa Fe, 11th of September 1967. It was seen by a UFO hovering over the metro of the underground. For 4 hours, it was noted a big, strong odor of, you know, that awful smell, sulfur. The analysis of the residues found at the place gave the following result: carbon, magnesium, iron, nickel, aluminium, and copper, plus some impurities. Next case, Baleia, Bairro da Saudade, Belo Horizonte, Brazil. They found a substance at a few meters of the place where a UFO had landed. It was formed by black grains, very light, in an irregular form that would be easily squashed in between your fingers, exhaling a very foul smell. This substance was taken to the Institute of Central Geosciences at the University Federal of Minas Gerais. The professor Leste Murto did the tests of radiations with negative results. The spectrographic gave the following results. Main constituents: iron, aluminium, magnesium, silica. There were some leftovers of copper, phosphorus, zinc, cobalt, zirconius, nickel, titanius. This analysis was made by Professor Edmar Vaz de Melo and Araújo. Okay, guys, so this is very interesting, guys. So you could always say, oh, I don't believe anything these guys are saying, or you can believe the science. And if somebody says, oh, there is no proof, you can say them, fuck you, go to these laboratory science institutes in these countries and do your own research, asshole. We don't do research for you for free. If you want to do, if you don't believe it, make your own research. We are not your daddies, okay? If anyone doesn't believe, please go to these places that I'm talking and confirm with them. Oh yeah! Mighty, my brother! Big hugs, my brother. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, my brother! Booyaka, my brother! So beautiful evidence here, guys. I'm loving this. Next case, Campo Grande, Mato Grosso, Brazil. Mr. Otaviano A. Souza Bueno. He was walking near a little bay called Betion. Let me just close my window, guys. It's starting to be a little bit windy. Okay, wonderful. Where are we? Here we are. He was walking in a bay in 1948 when he saw a luminous object in circular form that was descending silently until the ground. From then, inside, there came out rapidly 3 short creatures that started to take samples of the ground using a sort of a test tube that they would point to the ground. After the liftoff of this craft, the witness went close to the place where it had seen it landing and their occupants, and he noticed that the holes made by the tube were perfectly squared and all of them the same size. He decided to catch a little bit of the earth to see what had motivated the interest of the occupants of the UFO, and asked to analyze at the Institute of Research Technologies of São Paulo. So guys, you can see that these South American countries, they already know what to do, guys. They don't want to earn money with these cases. They want to discover if it's true. And after they discover it's true, they have their minds are put to rest and they can live the rest of their lives happily ever after, knowing that they exist. Because I think when you have a sighting, it just gives you that peace of mind that you don't need anyone else's lies or not lies to know it's true, because you know that many people just want to earn money with this stuff, and others will go the further step of lying to get some recognition in some other aspect of their lives, or to scam some more money. Understand, my people? So if you want to become a real ufologist, you stop by John P's, and I will tell you that you only need to believe yourself. You don't need to believe the assholes who say, please believe me when I say this. Because those people who say, trust me, dude, are the first people that you say, fuck off. Tell me if I'm not true, guys. Okay, now, guys, we're gonna talk about angel hair, okay? Angel hair, you know, that happened on the occurrence of Fatima. And on this apparition of Fatima, we had UFOs, we had flying eyes, we had orbs, we had the craft where the being with the white faded robe floated from the cloud to the top of the tree. So you've got a lot of proof of the UFOs. So I'm just associating this angel hair because this angel hair seems to be produced by some reaction, some chemical reaction made by the UFO, or the residue that the UFO liberates when it comes in contact with our with our atmosphere, or other chemicals in our atmosphere. Okay. These residues that come from a UFO, we say white hair, like floating white hair, that sometimes are observed after the passage of a flying cigar at a high altitude, even though you haven't seen any flying saucer at the same time. It is true there is certain spiders of the type Thomisus and Misumina in special. We can talk with our awesome brother Wild Trees, the biologist, about these spiders. I will have a talk with him, and we'll probably do a show about these Thomisus and Misumina spiders, okay? In special, that they segregate a strand of silk. That means that with this, it has the same composition as the silk little creature, which means with the same silk composition as the creature of silk, and the phase of when it's a little snaky thing, small. But we cannot forget that these spiders do not fly at such elevated altitudes without forming big clouds that permit to elaborate a big number of strands, and with a thickness that is possible to make some sort of a wind sail to be able to fly. So guys, these silk spiders produce a thicker strand that if it's amalgamated, it can fly with a loose strand, and it can get stuck, and then with the wind it can mimic a flying saucer to those nocturnal lights. Okay, guys? That's why we have to, when we see those night cams, we have to always, firstly, we have to think that it has to be silk, insect. There's millions of insects. They're transparent. They're all sorts of color, and they can reflect with the IR signal that those night cameras are sending, which normally is red. So they do tend to conflict with the colors. Afterwards, you have to see the details. The rods have some little legs and stuff, but even the rods, sometimes the rods look like some crazy insect, so even the rods are hard to find out. But sometimes you do see those fly with some wings, with legs, with arms, and they freaking look like angels. And those are the fairies, and we have seen some videos of those. Those can be faked as well, remember? Like anything can be faked, guys. So do not be a yes man. Do not believe what any bullshitter tells you, okay? You can believe what a bullshitter tells you, but after you get to know a bullshitter, you won't want nothing to do with a bullshitter, okay, guys? So keep that in mind, okay? Keep the bullshitters away, because they will bullshit your channel. Okay, guys, let's continue. We're talking about the silk thingies. They are the size of very micromillimeter in diameter, and they look like flakes of snowflakes. Oh, talking about snowflakes, big hugs to my brother Frosty. I hope you're not abducted by a UFO tonight, or you're not visited by the Sniffler doggy voyeur. Okay, Frosty Snowflake? Okay, let's continue, guys. Okay, the spiders, they say that when the spiders separate from the strands they liberate, they fall directly to the ground, which is not very true, guys. I don't know. It's weird. Some do, some don't. These strands are very rarely found on the residues of UFOs, and they formed by fibrin, which formula is C15H25N5O6 under brackets SN. Okay, so it's my wife calling me. Just let me answer. Let's finish this quickly. Jim's my brother. Ranch repairs. Great to see you, my brother. Okay, Ranch, you're gonna love this story, man. This story is very creepy. Jim, big hugs, my brother. Okay, so guys, my wife just left the consultation, so we're gonna have to fly a little bit, okay? She's gonna wait, but we're gonna fly, okay? These fibers are denominated angel hairs. Meanwhile, the strands of the spiders are designated virgin strands. Oh, actually, let me call my wife. Okay, sorry guys, let's go quicker. This called virgin hair. One of the observation most known that was verified on the angel hair fallings is no doubt what happened in Oloron Sainte Marie on the 17th of October 1952, where numerous testimonies assisted to the evolutions of a cigar, big cigar, from which smaller saucers came out and execute an authentic carousel. After that, they were seen several strands falling to the ground. The cigar was making an angle was making to the ground a 45 degrees angle, and these and the small spherical objects that were approximating, and the small strands were approximated, and the white traces appeared between them, and they would appear at a small resistance at the descents, but they would dissolve in the air a little bit after, just like in Fatima, guys. When inflamed, they would burn, that they were hydrophilus cotton. At the UFO, at the US, at in the States, there are several photos that show this angel hair covering the bushes at the margins of a river on an extension, considerable extension. On the 27th of October of 1964, near Florence in Italy, in plate, Gennaro Lucetti and Pietro Lastrucci, that were on the terrace of a coffee shop at the terrace of San Marcos. They saw in the sky two luminous peons, followed by a silver tail. These objects dislocated in a front line at a great velocity near to the other one, and then they did a 45 degrees maneuver, and then they lifted off in the direction of Florence. A few minutes later, the football teams of Florence and Pistola, which were playing the game in Florence, they stopped the game. Meanwhile, the 10,000 spectators lifted their nose to the sky to contemplate the movements of these two luminous balls that passed 3 times over the stadium over Florence. Between 2 o'clock 20 minutes and 2 o'clock 29 minutes. Meanwhile, some whitish filaments were falling over Florence and the suburbs. The reactions of the journals were invaded by phone calls. Okay, my wife is arriving already. We're almost finishing. Meanwhile, in Oloron, the witnesses couldn't collect any of this matter for analysis. In Florence, a student of engineer had the the spirit of mind to grab a test tube, sterilized, and put inside a little bit of this angel hair, and take it quickly to the institute. Okay, so my wife has seen us. He took it quickly to the analysis of microscopic and spectrographic examination, and these are the results, guys. I will be saying goodbye because my wife is almost arriving, and we'll be turning off, okay? The analysis of microbiotics was composition fibrous, pursuing a notable resistance to traction and torsion. Once inflamed, it burns vividly, leaving a residue transparent soluble. The analysis the analysis spectrographic of the residue, mainly elements boron, silicon, calcium, and magnesium, vestigious of elements, uh, big similarity to glass, boron, silicon. We're done, my people. Stay blessed. John P. Love you. See you on the next one.